Hello, everyone. My name is Morgan Guinther, and I'm a representative from Synergy Dental Partners. Today, I'm delighted to be speaking with Mr. Harold Gornbein and Ms. Adriana Steinberg, who are some of the partners and employees at Apex Reimbursement Specialist. Harold has over 25 years of experience within the insurance industry, and his wealth of industry knowledge, experience, and relationships really affords Apex clients with unparalleled strategic guidance and insight into basically anything you could need for reimbursement for your practice. Adriana manages all of the various synergy offices to help those practices with all the various services that Apex provides. She has been with Apex for more than 6 years and has helped over 1,000 dental practices during her time with Apex. Harold and Adriana, thanks so much for speaking with me today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, so just to kind of start off easy, first off, can you guys tell me a little bit more about Apex Reimbursement Specialist and give an overview of how you help dental practices?
Great question. I appreciate it. First of all, we appreciate Synergy and all the Synergy Dental Partners does for their members. It's really been a great relationship for many years, and we truly appreciate it. Apex Reimbursement Specialist got started back in 2012. At that time, all we provided practices was insurance fee negotiation. That's how we got started. And what happened over a period of years between 2012 and now, clients have asked us, what else can you do for us? What else can you do? So our suite of services has really grown over the years to include PPO fee negotiation, credentialing management, UCR fee setting, which I know we'll speak about UCRs at some point today. But UCR fee setting, we help clients select the carriers they participate with. We also, for folks that are acquiring new practices, and let's say they want to do a compliance audit, like a chart review, coding analysis, we do that as well. So somebody is not acquiring a compliance problem waiting to happen. And then this year we added full end-to-end insurance verification and dental billing services, which we heard, our clients over the years, especially Synergy partner clients, have asked us over the years, boy, we're so frustrated with dental billing and insurance companies. What can you do to help? So historically, we would refer that out, but this year we made the commitment to hire and build a team internally that's doing an excellent job for our clients. So really, everything that Synergy Dental Partner members can think about, from insurance payer relations all the way to getting that claim paid in the bank, we now do for our clients.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it really sounds like you're doing a lot, basically end to end, to help our members and the rest of the dental community to really manage everything in the reimbursement area of expertise. Kind of a follow-up question on one of the things you had mentioned. So, insurance companies. With insurance companies, there's a lot of complexities with that. And a question I often hear from our members is it true that you can actually negotiate your fees with insurance companies?
You can absolutely negotiate your fees with insurance companies. Not all insurance companies will negotiate, and the climate changes, from time to time, but absolutely you can approach a carrier and negotiate those fees for higher reimbursements.
I think what we found over the years is sometimes, maybe this is a life lesson in general. If you don't ask, you don't get. So one, just initiating the conversation with the carrier, and if they value the relationship, they will tend to, as Adriana mentioned, not all carriers, but many carriers will come back with an opportunity to increase that fee schedule. But it's really not as simple as that either. You can ask, but it's really helpful to have your ducks in a row. I mean, have the data, have the information that you have, because you need to demonstrate the leverage that you have with that insurance company. And if you don't, you may not receive any fee increases. So over the years, we've compiled plenty of data that our clients have provided us with that put us in a position to negotiate on behalf of our clients. So data and knowledge is number one. So you need to have that. But as Adriana mentioned, it's definitely possible, and we do it. We're now 11 years in, and we're still doing it every day. So we're very excited about it.
I'm just going to add one piece to that, just based on my work with Synergy members. So oftentimes when we're working with the front desk, they'll say, oh, I negotiated those fees, or a carrier, gave us an increase. And one of the follow-up questions I'll say is, did you evaluate it? What did you evaluate it against? And what percentage difference was it? And I'll tell you, most often the answer is, I don't know. Right. So what makes us different is because we work with so many practices across the country. Harold spoke to our database. We'll go against current fee schedules in that area and compare what the proposal is, and go back and try to be as aggressive as possible in getting that higher.
So, with that kind of in mind, is it kind of, with these doctors when they're looking to potentially renegotiate or they're looking at their insurance and they're like, maybe this is okay, is it important for them to be reviewing those fee schedules on a regular basis?
Generally, carriers won't negotiate for 18 to 24 months, right? So once you've negotiated a fee schedule, implemented it, uploaded into your PMS system, you've got 18 to 24 months. What we find for a lot of our clients, though, is during that time, there is opportunity to continue to look if we can remain an in-network provider with a certain carrier, but contract differently, right, to even get higher fees. So it is an ongoing process that might be static with the way they're currently contracted, but our goal at the end of the day is leave no stone unturned and ensure that they are getting the highest fees.
Yeah, as Adriana mentioned, the carriers will potentially, many carriers will look at the fees or an opportunity to review that fee schedule every 18 to 24 months. But guess what? If you don't ask, they're not going to voluntarily throw you a nice increase every 18 to 24 months. You really have to go to them and initiate the process. And that's why so many clients work with us, because that is what we do. Running a dental practice, as everybody who's going to be viewing this understands, a very busy business. And as Adriana said, yeah, you want to look at your fees every 18, 24 months. How many dentists out there are thinking, oh, I need to look at my practice management system. When is the last time I looked at my fees? Having that information top of mind, having a team to work with to help guide that dentist through that process is really, really key. But there is an opportunity to review it every, 18, 24 months is an opportunity. And again, but they're not going to come to you voluntarily. So you need to go to them or work with somebody like us, on the team. But yeah, you need to initiate it.
So let's say, you've got everything up to speed. You've reviewed your fee schedule. You're within that 18 to 24 month window. Let's say you're wanting to add a potential new carrier that you participate with. Do you guys help practices identify the carriers that they should be participating with?
Absolutely. So one of the tactics that we use is doing research in the market, identifying the largest employers, the number of employees they have, and the dental benefits they offer. But oftentimes we'll take it a step further. We want to look at competition. So we can do a search to see how many providers are in network with that carrier, right? And then strategize as to, do we want to go in network with this carrier based on the presence that they have and the potential patient flow they can bring, as well as the fee schedules.
Another question that a lot of our members have sometimes is acquisition. So either they're acquiring a practice or they're considering being acquired. What do you think gets most often overlooked when an acquisition is happening?
I would say carrier selection is a big one. And I think they take for granted and they'll just credential with everything the seller was in network with. Oftentimes, that's not the best approach. They could be participating with multiple lease networks, thinking they're getting higher reimbursements, but in the end, it's defaulting to a lower fee schedule. And I think the management of claims from going from the old TIN to the new tax ID change.
Yeah, I would just add to this. It's really important. Is people don't realize, and many of the Synergy partner members probably have office number 1 today. They go to acquire number 2, number 3. What happens on that acquisition, Morgan, that you mentioned, what can possibly overlook? Many acquirers, oh, I'm going to buy Dr. Jones down the street, and they do. They go through the LOI phase. They close funding. They close the deal, and then they go either internally. They will just do the tax ID change. They'll go ahead and credential, and just kind of like set it and forget it to a certain degree. An additional point that they'll overlook is at that point of that TIN change, at the point of that credentialing change, that new credential, every time you acquire and change tax ID, that is a credentialing event. Not just a credentialing event, it's a fee schedule negotiation event. There are plenty of clients, and we speak with them every day, that feel that, oh, if I just did my credentialing, that the insurance carrier is going to keep the existing schedule in place, meaning from the seller. And oftentimes, you go to that new credential, that new tax ID change, the insurance carrier may slip in a lower paying fee schedule than what the seller had. And if you do that, obviously now let's say your acquisition was $1 million and all of a sudden you're paid less.
Everything's
It
off
might
of
be
your
a
books.
$900,000 practice. And that is a painful experience. So it takes a very focused team to do it. Our job in that transition, that 10 change management acquisition, is not just do the credentialing, but also examine the seller's fees and look for opportunities to negotiate upon that new credentialing event. Those are a couple key points. The other key points too is the UCR fee schedule. I know you may, Morgan, you may get into that a little bit as well, and Adriana will probably speak at length as well, is when they do that tax ID change, they don't change the UCR fee schedule, that cash paying standard fee schedule. And that's also very important. So there's an opportunity, often we see sellers, they haven't looked at their fees for a long time. They haven't looked at their UCR fee schedule, their standard fee schedule for a long time. And now you've got this new buyer that just does the 10 change and credentialing and forgets it. That's an opportunity to really review who that seller participated with before, why they participated, their UCR needs to be reviewed, and also it's an opportunity for fee negotiation. So your question is a great one because it is often overlooked. People assume that the carrier is going to give us what the seller had. Never assume.
So one of the things, you kind of talked about here is just the difficulty of sometimes working with insurance companies. Maybe they're pulling things under the rug or whatever. So some of our members have expressed some concerns that, they're spending a lot of time on hold. They're not getting their questions answered, not getting the information they need. What are some things that Apex does to help alleviate that burden and make it a little easier on our practices?
I think, you touched upon it, right? The feedback I get mostly is front staff doesn't have bandwidth, doesn't enjoy doing it. It's not their strength. They want to just focus on the patients, right? If they could take it off their plate, they would do it. So we alleviate that. We don't have patients in front of us, right? We have relationships with insurance companies in front of us. So we are tackling that. So we can take on the insurance verification portion of it. Sometimes that could take 20 to an hour, right? They don't have time for that. And then obviously, claim management, we could take off their plate and, all this negotiations, credentialing, really managing on a foundational level how the office is currently operating with the insurance companies.
No, there's a lot there. I think what we heard a lot during the pandemic is what happened when the pandemic was slowly winding down. Offices wanted to reopen, but a lot of staff members didn't want to go back to work. Whatever reason, the government did a good job of funding a lot of our bank accounts a little bit. So what happened is a lot of people didn't come back to work so often. Maybe folks in Synergy Dental Partner members felt that, like a lot of our clients. So I'm gonna answer. They probably did. The staff shortage was really a problem. Not just staff shortage, but staff expertise was a problem. So as Adriana mentioned, what we did to help folks that are struggling with insurance companies is, what can you outsource to another team member that takes away that burden on the front desk, takes away that burden of the insurance companies. So, and with the goal of the dentist and the front desk person, the manager, they want to focus on the patients. That's really where they want to spend their time. So what could they outsource? So as Adriana mentioned, what we did was we created a full insurance verification team that our team here reaches out to the insurance companies. We use technology that enables us to get full breakdowns and write backs to the PMS system, the actual practice management system, about 70% of the time. So really removing that human time on the phone, that 30 minutes, that hour on the phone. So we can alleviate that about 70% of the time. Then you've got 30% of the time, the technology, either you have an insurance companies that their information is so antiquated that we can't even get into in a technology way. You need to pick up that phone and you need to call the insurance company. So to alleviate that front desk from having to do that, we also have team members on our team that Synergy Dental Partner members can hire and outsource to, where our team is making that phone call. Our team is sitting on the phone and we know what questions to ask. We know who to reach out to. We really understand the system well to remove that frustration from the front desk person so they can focus on the patients in front of them, but yet producing a very solid result, which creates some efficiencies. In addition to the insurance verification, plenty of people like these didn't go back to work, or they're just spending so much time on the phone, they're not submitting the claims in a timely fashion. They're not reviewing the denial management very often, so the claims are just sitting there. So our team at Apex Reimbursement Specialists, our full dental billing team, does the claim submissions, does all the attachments, make sure that claim is collected. And if a claim has not been collected, we will do the denial management for them. So really, and post those claims as well. So the point you mentioned, sitting on the phone, not getting paid, we've answered that, try to help our clients, because like you said, it's been a big frustration. That staffing part's been a frustration, and the execution of that's been a frustration, and we built the team to help them with that. So all those services that I just mentioned, if let's say the team is outsourcing that to us, they can focus on the patients right in front of them, ultimately getting that, creating that patient relationship.
And the need is there. Like, there isn't a day that passes where a client is sending me, the front staff is sending me a claim. Look into this. Why was this, denied? Or look into this. Why is this doctor, being paid out of network when he's in network? So there's certainly a need there.
And a lot of those services that you mentioned, the insurance verification and the claims management, that is new this year, correct? So that just kind of shows that, Apex is really innovative and trying to really look at the marketplace and see what the needs of the customers and the clients are.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned earlier, we got started in 2012 with insurance negotiation. Then clients said, we need your help. You did such a good job on that. We need your help. So then we added UCR fee, schedule setting and analysis, credentialing management, selecting the carriers, like you mentioned earlier. What are we doing to help select carriers and markets? And Adriana spoke about doing that market research. This year, insurance verification and dental billing has gotten so time consuming for the average practice. It's really not effective for them. But having a team of experts they can reach out to, you're right. This year has been a great kickoff year for us in that service.
Is there anything else that you really want to, end this with, just to kind of wrap up your final thoughts?
I think that oftentimes, like, this is a need. It needs to be done. I think dental practices need to operate like a business now, right? There's inflation, there's turnover, and there is a need and a benefit to outsourcing. Oftentimes, it actually can be more cost effective. With, I'll speak to turnover, right? With turnover, a lot of times the natural result is that the provider, doesn't have a certain trust in their front staff. So you can, have this desire and need to get this stuff done, but who do you turn to get it done in a timely fashion and in the best way it could be done?
I would definitely echo that, and I would add to it that first of all, we appreciate your time, Morgan, and interviewing us, and hopefully we gave you the members a lot of good information. But the benefits are really in a closing statement, as you mentioned. Over the years, we've added more and more. That is a direct reaction and reflection upon what our clients ask of us. Plenty, as you mentioned, we talk about staff turnover and staff costs. You ask your average member, your average dentist, to realize the staff costs keep escalating as inflation escalates. Not only do you have cost inflation on labor, but you have people that may not even show up. You have inefficiencies within that whole staff arena. So things that they're looking to us to do, and what we're trying to do on behalf of our clients: one, provide services, not just more services, but execute them well and make that practice better. We would like our clients to look at Apex as really almost a profit center for them, not a labor cost center. So we're here really to partner with Synergy Dental Partners and the members to offer all the services that we do. You have Adriana to work with on a day-to-day basis. She's excellent at what she does, and we appreciate all that she does. And there's plenty of Synergy Dental member stories she can really tell and speak to a lot of success stories that this call doesn't allow for. But really, we're there for the members. We'll constantly innovate year over year, as you mentioned. But right now, your average Synergy Dental member can really look to us as an extension of their team, but a team that's either going to make them more efficient, get them paid more and more often and faster, but also save them money as well. So you've got both ends of really that full spectrum, and really we should look at us as an extension of them. And we appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks so much. This has been wonderful. Hearing a little bit of your insights about, how Apex can help our members and how Apex is, constantly innovating to make things better for our member community. So I really do appreciate both of your time today.